Hello guys, how are you? Hope you are doing well. And today I'm gonna speak about something that I got a lot of requests about, which is ChatGPT and formulas which are generated by AI, and how perfumes and like how can you use AI to help you with your perfumery. By the way, I tend to not edit my videos because I like the thought process to be shared as well. Sometimes I think certain things while speaking and say it, so just letting you know this. So, question I get from a lot of people, customers, people who become perfumers later, is about AI, ChatGPT, Grok, whatever it is, Nanos, the Chinese AI equivalent for the usage of AI in perfumery. And I gotta tell you, this is a very complicated question because AI itself deserves a big analysis. It's not as simple as it seems, but nevertheless, I'm gonna tell you specifically regarding things that the people are most interested in, formulas. So in the past, ChatGPT could give you a detailed formula for perfume. However, it was of course lacking in a lot of ways, in huge ways. People definitely wouldn't know that it was lacking, except people who are seasoned in the work, like perfumers. And it's one of the problems of AI, can't really help you. Now actually they can't. Now actually it cannot. I will show you now. Like right now, ChatGPT does not give a specific formula for several reasons, maybe regulatory or else. I'm not sure why, but it can give you like ratios, etc. But I will tell you as a perfumer what things that I tested AI in and it failed miserably. For example, something called the CAS number. Materials have certain CAS numbers. It's pretty straightforward for certain things like sandalwood oil or rose oil, but sometimes when you're talking about chemicals, like chemical names, it screwed this up for me a little less than 10 times. So I never relied on it, and I was surprised at how stupid the results were. Like, if you find the CAS number of a material on Google, you can find it easily if you look for it. But for some reason, it did not show the same when I used ChatGPT, and it actually gave me very wrong results. So I cannot rely on it for something like this. Organizing things, sometimes it can help you, ChatGPT, like organization of things. For example, if you have a formula written to 25 parts, you can tell it to make it to 100. That would be good, but you still have to revise because, again, one or two times I asked normalization for a formula to 100 or to 1,000, and it screwed up, which proves to you that it's not as reliable as people think. Now I have here actually something I'm gonna show you. I let ChatGPT write this prompt for me. So I said, please write a prompt for ChatGPT to create a perfume formula that has all aspects, like very detailed, very complete formula. And it's like I did not want to write the prompt myself, just in case I am, my English is not perfectly fitted to write a prompt. I'm not a programmer. It's kind of things like a programmer. So I just said it should include materials from different spectrum of perfumery and not ignore lesser known materials, etc. And the prompt was a huge thing. I just stopped it here and said the perfume should also include materials which are lesser known, because I don't want the prompt to be lacking in any way. The most important part here is the prompt. and I gave the style and everything, and it gave me a very very detailed prompt. You are a world-class perfumer, blah blah blah, etc. So it has everything. It lists a lot of materials, many of which are used in this type of perfume mentioned here. Arabian luxury, oud-based, amber. Nevertheless, with the look of, like, I'm looking with my eye quickly, I see that there is a huge lacking thing here, like in the materials, which I will discuss once I copy this prompt into the ChatGPT thing now. So I copied it, and you kind of see things here, like it looks like it's rather like gathering info. So I pasted the prompt, and it looks like it's gathering a lot of data online, and just, okay, so desert throne, oud amber, multi-dimensional oud structure, dense resonance amber, factory pyramid has a lot of materials. First thing I noticed was it does not mention percentages. Before it used to, and it used to be bad percentages, like it wouldn't be a good perfume. But even when you see this, all these materials here, you see right away like that there is a problem with the it looks like it's surfing online, gathering info is what is used in Arabic amber perfumes, and just listing them like that, and giving you all these descriptions perfumers use. But what about esters? What about alcohols? What about like synthetics or isolates, which can be natural but still sometimes synthetic? Like esters, they play a big role in perfumery. What about these? What about the idea that it's oak aged oud tinctures? Where did they get this? It looks like it's trying to act like now I ask, what are the percentages? I can't provide a detailed production ready perfume, non-operational fragrance architecture, so it's giving you some kind of approximate structure. I don't know how this works. Honestly, it's not good formulas. These are not good formulas. I don't know, like, what's happened. I said, why can't you give a detailed formula? And it says that I have avoid providing highly detailed. So if you see, it's like changing. Okay, so regulatory restrictions, purity variations, blah blah. But quickly here, oud accord, labdanum, benzoin sayum. Okay, so ambergris accord, musk accord, osmanthus accord, jasmine accord, saffron leather. It looks complicated, but it's very strange to think that something as powerful as ChatGPT, with all this data-driven kind of science, doesn't know something. Like, where is, like, if we talk about rose, we know that, for example, rose has the general ones known, like phenylethyl alcohol, citronellol, geraniol, but you also have the more higher impact, like rose oxide, like phenylethyl acetate, ethyl phenyl acetate, like rose ketones, all these things, they're never gonna be mentioned here. So if you want to rely on this formula, it's hugely lacking, which is it's just tells you that there's a problem with AI. Like, a lot of people think that they automatically replace their brains with AI, and it's very dangerous. And I'm gonna make a specific video about this AI thing separately, but it's there's a problem. As a perfumer, I see that the best thing this thing can help you with would probably be something like I would say organizing, but you always have to double check after you hear from ChatGPT or whatever it is that you are using. There's a problematic thing with this with this technologies, you know. Anyways, just wanted to share this with you as it's interesting, and a lot of people are using ChatGPT for different things, generating photos, etc. Like also generating images for marketing. That's okay. Making some AI videos with other apps using images generated from ChatGPT. That's also okay, you know. Yeah, things like that. But I think that's the extent of how much it can be used, because quite honestly, if I am also thinking from another point of view, any person who would feed their formulae or job secrets or work secrets or recipes into ChatGPT would be someone who really needs to revise what they're doing, because I don't know what this data will be channeled where later, you know. Because if you say, like for example, let's talk about Chanel, you know, or Guerlain, like big companies of perfume, Guerlain, they feed a formula there, some employee there. What happens is it's stored there somewhere, you know, and the entity that's gaining this knowledge is not other perfumers, it's the AI itself for the training of the other models. So what I see happening in the future, because these are all, you know, profit-driven companies, is that it will gather all this knowledge to itself, and when it gathers this knowledge to itself, what will happen later is that you don't know, leaks can happen, you don't know, maybe they will be selling it in a way, you know, like, because I don't see any kind of oversight over these kinds of companies like ChatGPT and etc. And I'm going to make another video to talk about Meta and the problems of Meta for the business, for our business specifically, what we faced and what I think generally is the problem with this kinds of apps and technology and over reliance on it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.